This is like my third or fourth try, but I'm trying to make the simplest how do I use Fett263's website for blade styles for proffie video as I possibly can. And so I'm going to just stick to the exact basics and keep it as brief as possible and see if I can get this in under 5 or 6 minutes. So for dummies, for proffie beginners, not for anybody who knows how to load out a config and load the proffie saber, there's nothing here for you. This is for beginners. So if you're just getting into proffie, you're just digging into Fett263's website, and you want to learn how to change your blade styles on your config, I'm going to show you really quickly how to get it changed in your config to have a different color blade, basically. So I'm going to go first to where my config is. I got a test config here. This is Sublime. If you don't have Sublime and you're using a notepad, stop and get Sublime, and you can change the colors up to match whatever you want best. And it's much easier on your eyes, and you won't go cross-eyed as much. So what I want to do is I want to take this and add a saber, or add a font / blade style / preset to it. I want to add this cartoon font preset as my first one. So I've got this A New Hope training. This is Kyberphonics lightsaber Graphics from A New Hope, or Luke is training in the Falcon. I'm going to take that. I'm going to copy and paste it. Just Control C for that. If you're not using the shortcuts, learn them because they're so easy. Control V to paste. And I've got 2 of these presets. And if I put that on my saber like that, I would have 2 A New Hope trainings right in a row. And we don't want that. So I'm going to change this to cartoon. And both the nomenclatures here, or you call tags. I don't know the words. I am not computer literate. I just wanted my saber to work, so I made myself learn. All right, so now I've got cartoon and A New Hope training. If I save that and load it on my saber, I would have cartoon sound font with a blue blade, and then I would have New Hope training with a blue blade also. But that's not what I want. I want a green blade. All right, so what I'm going to do is minimize that. I'm going down here to my Fett263's website. Thank the maker, thank the gods, thank the professors, and thank Fett263 for providing all these free blade styles in this library for us to use. Consider donating to or becoming a member of his Patreon. Patreon? Yeah. And just, we couldn't do this without him. We'd be limited to very few blade styles, and the time and effort he puts in here is just astounding. So we're going to go through here, and we're going to go to Proffie OS 7 Style Library Public Access, because we're on OS 7 now, almost OS 8, I think, but right now it's still for OS 7. Internet's a little slow out here in the shop, so if it lags, it's just because of the distance. All right, so we've got all this information up here. There's his Patreon if you want to donate or get involved. He does do all this for our benefit, so consider that. But we're not going to get overwhelmed because there is so much information here that you could get lost easily. We're just going to grab we're going to grab a green blade style for that cartoon font. And we're going to go to Canon Standard, the very first one he offers. It's a rotoscope. That's where he's programmed the pixel stick to behave as much as possible as a rotoscope blade would in the original trilogy as far as timing and everything. And that's the one that's standard for most of your canon Star Wars fonts right now. All right, so it's already set on hyper responsive rotoscope original trilogy. That's exactly what I want. I don't have to change anything. If I wanted to, though, I have tons of options. I could go single color, 2-color, hyper responsive rotoscope for the prequels, hyper responsive rotoscope for the sequels, so forth and so on. It's just the options he gives you. It's amazing that he has that much time in his day. It's insane. All right, but we just want hyper responsive rotoscope original trilogy, Return of the Jedi, green blade, main blade. It's going to have a pop-up. All right, so we've got a blue blade as our standard option here, but that's not what we want. Everything else is preset for you. All the lightning blocks, the ignitions, the retractions, the stab, the melts, the force, everything's set. And if I download this option here, if I just say, okay, I'm happy with that, I scroll all the way down, I hit get style code, and then I could just load a blue blade up. But I don't need that because I want a green blade. I have 2 options here. I can go to the color swatch here, and it'll give me the gradient I can pick. That's unnecessary though. I just want to go to this color wheel, and Fett's already got them programmed for me for the optimal color. And everything I've done, it's been close enough that I didn't care. Of course, I played around for fun, but these work for 99.9% of all your Star Wars canon blade styles and fonts. All right, getting green. So that's it. I've got a green blade. I can go down here, get the style code, hit agree, and it's copied to my clipboard and it's mine. Or I'm going to show you one option you might consider for your first blade style. That's ready to go like that. It's ready to go to work for almost every situation. But if I wanted to, the first thing I would recommend you might want to tweak is skip control layer, skip all this stuff, ignore all these special ability things. There's so many options, so much explanation. Ignore the pre-on, we don't have one. Ignition effect options, we have standard ignition where it comes out from the hilt, just like we want. It's set at 300 milliseconds for standard, and then on your retraction, it's set at 0, which will match your end wave or however long your end wave comes in. And that works for almost every blade style you would want. But this is Luke's green Return of the Jedi, iconic, powerful blade. I want it to be a little more punchy. 300 works really good most of the time, but I want it to be a little bit quicker than that. So I'm going to go in here. I could make it 0, and it would match my out wave if I did that, just like the end wave I showed you. But I want this one to be like 175 or 150, something like that. I want it to be really quick and fast to match that punchy ignition. And I'm going to leave everything else alone. I'm not going to worry about the retraction time. I'm going to let it match. 0 will match the end wave, like I said. It'll be just fine most cases. And I'm going to scroll down here and skip every bit of this stuff and go to Get Style Code because I'm ready to go. As you learn more, you can keep tweaking and adding. And like I said, he's got everything out here explained for you. Anytime you see a question mark, explanations just pop up. Yeah. All right, so I have that style code. It's copied to my clipboard. I'm going to go to my config, and I'm going to change the view just so you can see the whole thing. I'm going to go to word wrap. And this is the whole preset here for Cartoon. This is that blue blade. And what I want to do is replace this whole thing with my new one, which I have copied to my clipboard. So I'm going to grab this right here at that comma, go all the way up to the copyright information, and then just hit Control V or paste it in. Got a blank space there. I'm just going to back up and get that out of there. And then I'm going to save it. And then I've learned through mistakes, every 1 or 2 blade styles, run it through Arduino, check the space you got left, and then check to see if there are any errors. If you load up 10 blade styles and then check through Arduino, you've got 10 blade styles you might have to dig through with an error of some sort. So load a blade style, check it through Arduino, load a blade style, check it through Arduino. That's my recommendation, and it'll save you a lot of headaches. So that's how you do it. That's how you change your blade style. You should be good to go. If you load that up, you should have a green blade style for that sound font in particular. Just want to check in and say hi to everybody. Catch you guys later, and may the force be with you as always.